The goal in the art and practice of sinisterism is sinister illumination, enlightenment from a left-hand path perspective. Now, in most right-hand path faiths, enlightenment can never be obtained. It's a carrot on a stick. It's chasing the dragon. That's how they keep you in the flock, false promises. But on the left-hand path, there's an actual obtainable goal. Because while gathering knowledge in the dark arts, one must also face death, accept death. You're not longing for death. No, don't get me wrong. But when you have truly accepted your mortality, then you can truly accept life. You reach that stage that only those who are dying or in their last days seem to be able to reach. That is an all-embracing love of existence. And on the left-hand path, you don't have to wait to be dying to get there. That's if you're willing to face the horrors. On this channel, much of what I preach is based upon Indo-European traditions. I believe I'm personally drawn to these practices because it's a part of who I am, genetic memory, my heritage. But I'm also part Mexican, so I thought it fitting to delve into the esoteric traditions of that branch of my family tree. And while doing so, I came across what some experts think is the fastest growing new religious movement in the world, the cult of Saint Death, Santa Muerte. Now, when I say cult, I don't mean it in the negative sense, not at all. Cults are like drugs. They can be beneficial or detrimental. It all depends on how they're utilized. Also, and this is very important, all religions started out as cults. All of them. And if any of you Christians want to argue with me, just look up a Jewish cult called the Sect of the Nazarene. Guess what it became? The unofficial saint called Santa Muerte, Saint Death or Holy Death, is a female skeletal figure depicted as wearing a long robe with a scythe in one hand and the world in the other. She's a Mexican folk saint not recognized by the Catholic Church, but amongst the drug cartels, gays, lesbians, transsexuals, outsiders, misfits, the disenfranchised, those on the outer rung of society, she's very popular. There's no hard data on the amount of followers she has, but some experts estimate there's from 10 to 15 million. The origins of Saint Death are said to date back to Mexico's Spanish colonial period. Many believe that when the Spanish arrived, they brought with them an image of the Grim Reaper, which reminded the Mesoamericans of their gods and goddesses that personified death, one being the Aztec goddess of the underworld. And throughout the years, veneration to Santa Muerte remained clandestine until the mid-20th century, when researchers found evidence of love magic being performed utilizing her. She was particularly popular amongst those women who thought their husbands or boyfriends were cheating on them. But in 2001, her popularity exploded when a public shrine was erected to her in a notorious section of Mexico City. Now, most Santa Muerte devotees are common folk who still consider themselves pretty much Catholic, but have lost faith in many of the established saints. If you're an outsider and you don't like authority, even those authority figures of the soul can be a problem. These people mostly pray to her for mundane reasons, but the cult also has been connected to more criminal elements. This is because worshipers can make petitions to her that they wouldn't normally make to those traditional Catholic saints. For example, a prostitute can ask her for assistance to help make her evening more lucrative, or a drug trafficker can make a request to Santa Muerte that his cocaine shipment arrives safely to its destination. She doesn't judge. Besides just Mexico, in the past decade or so, her cult has spread throughout the United States with the help of immigration and social media. Originally, most of her followers were located in border towns, but now worshipers can be found all over the U.S. The entertainment industry has also helped her popularity because of her appearance on the television series Breaking Bad and also Dexter. Her products are even available on Walmart and on Amazon. But even with its popularity, the heterodox cult of Saint Death remains controversial and has been officially condemned by the Roman Catholic Church. In 2013, the Vatican's culture minister declared the Mexican folk saint blasphemous and said she should not be a part of any religion. He called the worshiping of Santa Muerte a degradation of religion. It's not religion just because it's dressed up like religion, he said during a trip to Mexico. Still, her popularity grows. But, like any other belief, veneration for Saint Death can be taken too far. Then again, name a religion that hasn't had its whack job extremists. I'll wait. In 2012, Silvia Meraz Moreno and her cult, consisting mostly of family members, were arrested in a Sonoran border town for killing a 55-year-old woman and later two 10-year-old boys as a ritual sacrifice to Santa Muerte. These people were dirt poor and thought that if they appeased the saint with blood, she would bestow upon them great riches. Because of the somewhat sinister and clandestine character of this saint and the expansion of devotion, the Mexican government has been known to destroy public shrines to her. Former Mexican President Felipe Calderón saw her as such a threat, he felt the need to send in the Mexican army along with bulldozers to demolish her shrines. The government claims they were built without permission on public land, thus giving the area a bad image. I personally think the real reason is fucks with the status quo and is thus a threat to authority. The truth is, when you alter the religious foundation of a culture or society, the whole structure can come tumbling down. Now, why does she have such wide appeal? It's because she accepts everyone and doesn't discriminate. She is there for those who are often shunned by the Catholic Church. And why is she so accepting? Because she is the one and only saint whose embrace we're all going to feel someday. So my friends, foes, and faithful minions, what do you think of Saint Death? Will this cult grow to the degree that it will break away from Catholicism completely, becoming its own official religion? And being heterodox, is it left-hand path? It kind of feels like it in some ways. She's very similar to Lilith, and especially Kali. What do you think? Leave your comments below and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, adios.